Hey y'all, it's Diana from the Dianaverse, and I am here for the new moon in Pisces forecast. The new moon is happening today, February 19th at 11:05 p.m. That's Pacific Standard Time, so adjust that for the time zone that you are in. And happy birthday, Pisces, all the beautiful Pisces out there. I was reminded of a line from a movie for this new moon. If you're familiar with Galaxy Quest, I'm kind of a science fiction nerd, but it was the mist of this strange planet is filling my head with such thoughts. And that is such a Pisces kind of a thing to say. Pisces is the final sign of the zodiac. It's the great letting go. We're going to melt into the cuddle puddle, right? We have all those good feelings with Pisces. We've done a lot of letting go the last couple of years. There's been a lot of these cycles of letting go repeated over and over. And we're not going to be done yet because the bigger planets move slower and some of them have not gone through Pisces yet to end this cycle. Kind of wrapping up the age of Pisces, actually. So this is a big deal. Some of these cycles only come around like every few hundred or few thousand years. Hey, Kitty. Kitty wants to join us today for our forecast. So we have 4 things in Pisces right now. We've got the sun, we've got Venus. She's going to be leaving really soon, but she's still there today. We have Neptune and we have the moon. So there's a lot of emphasis on this Pisces water energy today with this new moon. So we can dream really big. We can always set our intentions on the new moon. So this is the time to dream your best dreams, realizing that when Saturn hits Pisces very soon, we'll see what sticks. We'll see what's actually going to work out of those dreams. But for the moment, you want to dream bigger so that you can actually accomplish more. The collective unconscious reminds us to fall back into our connections, especially if Pisces for you brings up overwhelm. There can be some overwhelm because Pisces is a sign of everything, right? So that can be a little overwhelming sometimes. You fall back into your networks, your friends and family, or whoever it is that you find supportive. Just finding my place. Sorry, I write these out because otherwise I forget important things. So you'll want to remember whatever you're dreaming up now is to swim into March when Saturn finally is really in Pisces. And congratulations to anyone with their Saturn in Pisces as you're going to be going into your Saturn return. Whee, yay. It can be tough going through Saturn return, but usually it helps you structure your life so that things actually work better in the end. Pisces is represented by 2 fish, probably knew that, and they're facing opposite directions. They're swimming together, but they're facing opposite directions. So that can be kind of where we get this thing about making decisions with Pisces, right? Because they can see things from different points of view, and so that can make it hard to decide which way to swim through the cosmos sometimes. It's the culmination of the work of the priestess from Virgo. We're on the Pisces-Virgo axis. Virgo was in September-ish, late August, early September. That's the sign of the priestess who brings the will of the divine into the real world. That's an earth sign. And in Pisces, we're on the opposite side of that. So if you find that you're having too much trouble deciding things or getting lost a little bit in all the things going on, you can tap into that opposite sign from where the sun is. So tap into the Virgo energy to get a little discernment, a little bit more like focus, if that's what you might need. But you can also think back to those goals that you set in September. What was it that you were envisioning for the next year? What was the seeds that you were gathering to plant in your garden this year? And kind of check in on the progress or where you are with that. Pisces is a sign of wrapping everything up. It's where we bring everything together, right? But this is also a new moon, and the sun also, where it is in Pisces, are at 0 and 1 degrees respectively. The moon is at 1 degrees, the sun is at 0 degrees. So we are looking for new oceans to swim in. We've been wrapping a lot of things up. It's an liminal period where things transition. So after Virgo, we had the Kaliach, who took the reins of the year for the winter. And then in Imbolc, which we just had at the beginning of February, Bridget takes that flame, that torch, and carries it towards the new year, but she's not there yet. She doesn't really birth whatever is getting ready until Beltane. So there's kind of this transitional time in the early spring, late winter, excuse me, where it's part of the dichotomy of having the two fish. It's one of those double signs where you've got a couple things going on. You're wrapping things up, and yet you're also beginning new things. Like, for example, in practical reality, you might be going through seed magazines and ordering seeds. Well, you're not planting some of those yet because it's not quite spring, but you're getting ready. You're getting those in your hands so that you're ready to go when the time comes, so that they can be birthed at that time. So this morning, Sunday, we've got Venus in Pisces sextiling Pluto and Capricorn. So the initiation of that can feel a little bit rough, whatever it is that we're working on. Venus in Pisces is kind of laid back. She wants to feel good. Pluto and Capricorn, that's an earth sign again. So that's like, okay, let's ground it. What's really going to work? Let's get rid of everything extraneous. Pisces doesn't always feel like doing that. So it's kind of the Persephone vibes, even though Venus is not retrograde, but it's kind of those Venus initiations through the underground, and it can be stressful. You can feel like you're having your power taken away because everything's not under your control. So we're dreaming big, but we don't necessarily feel like we can control everything. So that can be disconcerting when you're trying to figure out what you're trying to do. But it can open your perceptions to finding gems. Like, most of the treasures on the earth come from digging under the surface. All those gems are down in the earth. So you've got to kind of dig up all of this old stuff and kind of get it out of the way before you can get to the treasures. And sometimes those blocks can be our preconceptions. It can be the structures that we've built for ourselves that we might even want to change, but it's hard to let go, even if you want to change, because it's familiar and a little safe. So you have to swim into some deeper water to find those new things. You have to take some chances. I mean, you also want to evaluate and use discernment, pull in your little opposite Virgo thing there to make sure that what you're doing is safe enough. You don't want to completely put boundaries on yourself, but you also don't want to just jump off a cliff. So take that into consideration. Venus will be moving into Aries tonight. So this is going to be a fairly short process of digging up some deeper things. It's just going to be today, really. So if you during the day you get insights or ideas or flashes of inspiration, write them down, because the aspect will be gone and then you'll forget what it was, what those great ideas were. So write those down. There's going to be a few things going on with our aspects going on with Mercury this week. So Monday and Tuesday we'll be kind of busy with our thoughts. There can be healing conversations. There can be arguments over resources. The asteroids are a little busy. They can be arguing about partnerships and plans, but those should get kind of sorted out by Wednesday. Some little clashes again, maybe on Thursday. Everyone's trying to make their best plans. So try to see other people's point of view, because everyone's trying to make their best decisions for themselves. Try not to fight just to fight. You know, there's going to be minor tension throughout the week, but if you can see another person's point of view, where they're coming from, rather than just what they're arguing about, sometimes that can really make a difference in how you can support them or feel supported. By the time we get to next Monday, February the 27th, we're going to be at the first quarter moon. That can be where there's a little tension going on. There's aspects going on with the moon, so try not to go in mental circles. That stress can be hard on the body. The moon is the body, so try not to get too sucked into a vortex. I know that can be hard to do when you got stuff going on, but if you can manage your stress in some way, exercise could really help with that, like working that tension out of your body. It's going to be more about things you're arguing with yourself about, like internal this or that, which way should I go, do I, just internal things where you argue with yourself. So the idea I had for a ritual for this lunation is building confidence. With Pisces, sometimes it feels like you're lost in the world, like your plans maybe are nebulous in relation to everything else. So I wanted to build some confidence. Go to a moving body of water if you have something near you, or I've got the starting video was yesterday. I went hiking down by Green River, so I put a short little video here. Look at that over and over on loop if you need to look at a body of water but you don't have something close by. And just feel into that water, feel that power. When I stand by moving water like that outside, you can just feel the power of the flow. Everything's got to go with the direction that water is flowing, and there's a lot of power in the earth where the water moves like that. So if you can feel into that power, it can help you feel supported, right, in life. Let go of whatever thoughts you have going on and just feel into that, and then, write down whatever floats to the surface for you with that. For our plant friends this month, I'm suggesting teas. So in keeping with the water element, nervines to help with the nervous system. That's skullcap, catnip, those minty plants that release to the exterior. That's what they say in Chinese medicine. It releases the tension from the interior to the exterior so that your body can relax. Stone friends, the classic stone for Pisces is aquamarine. In the Irish calendar, the Ogham calendar, we're in alder time. So in alder time, the salmon swim upstream. They swim up the stream of creation. The salmon are carrying the knowledge in Celtic wisdom. So they make the leap from the feet, because Pisces rules the feet, to Aries, which is the next sign. Aries rules the head. So you're moving from like everything that's been gathered, everything is at your feet, and these little fishies are going to swim up to the head to give you inspiration and knowledge to start Aries, which is the classic start of the new year. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. There's so many different variations of New Year's in the world, but this is one of them. And if you want to put alder on your altar, if you have any alder nearby, I find this time of year where there's trees that have fallen over or been damaged by windstorms, you can find a piece of bark. It's really interesting bark, has white splotches on it. Native people here on the West Coast would call it a ghost tree. They would use extracts from the alder tree to stun the fish, to fish, which is kind of interesting because in the Celtic, it would also be associated with fish, like that Pisces. The Celts definitely knew about the Greek, and even really the horoscope is older than that. It goes back to Mesopotamian areas. So Um, that would be an inspiration at this time of year, those salmon swimming past the alder trees. So as far as the parts of the body, like I said, Pisces rules the feet. So you might want to baby your feet at this time if you have any feet issues. Take care if you have diabetes or foot injuries or arthritis, all those kinds of things. It's the cold, damp part of the year. So you want to, that mint will help a little bit with cooling any inflammation. And yeah, that's it for the Pisces new moon. I hope you have a really inspirational new moon. Remember to write anything down that you think up. And I will be doing a Zoom call. I mentioned this last lunation, but the Zoom call that I will do with astrology is going to be focusing on Pluto moving into Aquarius, because that will be coming up this year. These are some big moves. Some of these big outer planets are shifting signs. So if you're interested in that, I will put my website address down below. You can email me to join in, find out more information about doing Zoom calls on astrology. These are kind of 40-minute little talks by donation. And if you're interested in talking astrology, join me for that. We gather and I give a little presentation on whatever the topic is that I have thought up, and then I open up the mics so that we can discuss it. So if that sounds good to you, join me below. Be sure to like and subscribe this video if you want to keep getting these in your inbox. I try to post them on social media. That doesn't always happen, but if you're subscribed, then you will definitely get a notification. All right, friends, take care, and I will see you next lunation for the full moon in Virgo, which the full moon is generally the opposite sign from where the sun is, because that's what a full moon is. It's reflecting the light of the sun. So we'll continue this theme about the Pisces Virgo axis then. All right, talk to you then.